Stop. Right now. Whatever you're doing, put it down for just a second. Look around your home. Somewhere in that space, maybe curled up on the couch, maybe sitting by the window watching the world outside, maybe lying flat on the floor in that weird way cats do. Your cat is there. And your cat is watching you. Not just glancing, not just casually aware of your presence. Actually, deliberately, consistently, watching you. And I want you to really sit with that for a moment. Because that gaze, that quiet, patient, unblinking gaze your cat gives you 100 times a day, it means something. Something specific. Something deep. Something most cat owners live their entire lives without ever understanding. Your cat is waiting for something from you. Not food. Not water. Not a new toy or a bigger bed or a fancier litter box. Something that no amount of money can buy. Something that no product can replace. Something that has been sitting in your cat's heart, quietly, patiently, since the very first day it walked through your door. And here is the part that will stay with you long after this video ends. Most cat owners never give it to them. Not because they don't care, not because they're bad owners, but simply because nobody ever told them what it was. Nobody ever explained the language their cat was speaking. Nobody ever translated the silence. So today, right now, that changes. By the time this video is done, you are going to understand your cat in a way you never have before. You are going to see that quiet, waiting gaze completely differently, and you are going to know exactly what to do about it. But first, we need to understand who your cat really thinks you are. Here's a question that sounds simple, but is actually one of the most fascinating things in all of animal behavior. Why does your cat watch you so much? Not the bird outside, not the random noise from the street, not the other people who occasionally come to your house. You, specifically, consistently, daily. There is an answer to this, and it is rooted in decades of scientific research into feline behavior. And when you hear it, something in your understanding of your cat is going to shift permanently. Cats, by nature, are solitary animals. In the wild, they do not form packs. They do not need social groups to survive. In fact, most adult cats in the wild actively avoid other cats. They are self-sufficient, independent, and deeply territorial. And yet, domestic cats form profound attachments to their human owners. Attachments that are intense, loyal, and emotionally complex. For years, scientists struggled to explain this. Why would an animal that is wired for solitude become so deeply bonded to a human? The answer came when researchers began studying not just how cats behave with humans, but what kind of relationship they are actually modeling it after. And what they found was this. Your adult cat, the one sitting in your home right now, is neurologically, behaviorally, and emotionally relating to you the way a kitten relates to its mother. Not as a companion, not as a friend, not even as a fellow creature. As a parent figure, as a caregiver, as the center of its emotional world. When a kitten is born, its mother is everything. She is the source of warmth, the source of food, the source of safety. But more than all of that, she is the source of something that science has only recently begun to fully appreciate. She is the source of emotional regulation. A mother cat doesn't just feed her kittens. She grooms them. She presses her body against theirs. She holds them close. She communicates to them, through specific, physical, deliberate touch, that they are safe, that they are seen, that they are loved. And the kitten's brains are built around that communication. Their nervous systems are calibrated by it. Their emotional baseline, their sense of safety in the world, is constructed from it. Now here is where it gets important. When your cat came into your home, whether as a young kitten or as an older cat, its brain transferred that attachment template onto you. You became the mother figure. You became the emotional anchor. You became the one who signals your cat's nervous system watches for constantly. Every time your cat looks at you, it is checking in. It is reading your body language. It is listening to your tone of voice. It is asking, in the only language it knows, am I safe? Are you here? Do I matter? And the painful truth is, most of us have been answering that question in a language our cats simply cannot understand. The language most owners never learn. Think about what taking good care of your cat means to most people. Premium food, fresh water, vet appointments, toys, a warm, comfortable home, maybe a cat tree by the window. And again, all of that is real and all of it matters. But every single one of those things addresses physical survival needs. They are the biological minimums. They keep your cat's body alive and functioning. They do not speak to what your cat's emotional brain is hungry for. And your cat has an emotional brain, a deeply sophisticated one that is constantly processing not just am I warm and fed, but am I loved? Am I connected? Is this person truly with me or just near me? Here is the distinction that changes everything. There is a difference between being physically present and being emotionally available. You can be in the same room as your cat for 12 hours a day, on your phone, watching TV, working, scrolling, and your cat will feel your physical presence, but it will not feel your emotional connection. And it is the emotional connection that your cat's nervous system is starving for. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They think the solution is more petting, more picking up, more calling the cat's name, more carrying it around, more trying to force interaction. But that is not the language. That is louder noise in a language your cat doesn't speak. Your cat's emotional language is subtle. It is quiet. It is about specific signals in specific moments, delivered in specific ways that speak directly to the ancient, primal parts of its brain. And once you learn those signals, once you truly start speaking your cat's language, the transformation you will see in your cat will feel almost unbelievable. So let's learn it, piece by piece, all the way through. First element, the slow blink. In 2020, researchers at the University of Sussex published a study that sent ripples through the world of animal behavior. They proved, scientifically, through controlled experiments, that when a human makes soft eye contact with a cat and slowly closes and reopens their eyes, the cat reads it as a profound signal of safety and affection. They called it the slow blink. And in cat communication, it is the equivalent of a warm smile, a hug, and I love you, spoken in the only language evolution gave your cat for expressing trust. Here is why it works on such a deep level. In the wild, direct eye contact between cats is a threat signal. A hard stare means challenge, aggression, dominance. Cats avoid prolonged eye contact with animals they do not trust. But a slow blink is the deliberate opposite of that. It is a voluntary moment of vulnerability. It says, I am closing my eyes in your presence. I am making myself momentarily unguarded. I feel so safe with you that I am willing to do that. When you slow blink at your cat, and do it correctly, you are not just sending a nice signal. You are speaking directly to your cat's threat assessment system and saying, you are completely safe. There is no danger here. I am not a threat. I am your safe place. And the response is physical. Your cat's muscles will relax. You will see the tension leave its posture. Its tail will settle. Its eyes will soften. And very often, within moments, your cat will slow blink back at you. That moment, that quiet, simple blink back moment, that is your cat saying, I trust you. I see you. I feel safe with you. That is not a small thing. That is everything. Now, how to actually do it correctly. Because most people get this wrong when they first try. Do not lean aggressively toward your cat's face. Do not force eye contact. Do not do it when your cat is already startled or on alert. Instead, sit in the same space as your cat, relaxed and calm. Let your cat naturally look toward you on its own. In that moment of natural eye contact, soften your gaze, not a hard stare, but a gentle, warm look. Then slowly, very slowly, close your eyes for about 2 full seconds. Then reopen them gently. Then look away. Release the moment. Give your cat space to process. And wait. Be patient. You have sent the signal. Now let your cat respond in its own time. Because forcing a response is the one thing that undoes everything. Practice this every single day. It costs you nothing. It takes 3 seconds. And over time, it will become the foundation of a completely different relationship with your cat. Second element, targeted touch, the right places, the right way. Now we need to talk about physical touch, because this is the area where the gap between what owners do and what cats actually need is the widest. Most people pet their cats the way they would pet a dog. Long strokes down the back, scratching all over the head, picking them up and squeezing them. Fast, enthusiastic, full body contact. And the cat? It tolerates it, maybe for a little while. Then it jumps off the couch and walks away, or twitches its tail and gives a warning bite. And the owner thinks, my cat just isn't affectionate. She doesn't really like to be touched. But that is not what happened. What happened is that the touch was delivered in the wrong places, in the wrong way, with no regard for the cat's signals about what felt good versus what felt invasive. Your cat's body has specific locations, literally mapped to specific nerve clusters, and scent glands. Where touch doesn't just feel pleasant. Where touch triggers the actual release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same hormone that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn. These locations are the base of the skull, right where the head meets the neck, behind the ears. This area is rich in scent glands. When another cat or a trusted human makes contact here gently, the cat literally leans in. It wants more. Its body is responding to something deeper than just pleasant sensation. The cheek area, along the jawline, behind the whiskers. Cats use this area to scent mark things and beings they feel belong to them. When you gently touch your cat here, you are participating in that language. You are allowing your cat to feel a sense of ownership and belonging in the interaction. Under the chin, the soft area beneath the jaw. This is difficult for cats to reach themselves, which makes being touched there feel both relieving and deeply intimate. When you scratch your cat slowly under the chin, watch what happens to its head. It rises. The neck extends. The eyes half close. That is not just relaxation. That is surrender. Complete, voluntary, trusting surrender. Now, the most important rule of all of this. And I need you to hear this clearly. Never grab. Never force. Never initiate without invitation. The correct approach is this. Extend your hand, fingers together, back of the hand facing up, and wait. Hold it near your cat, but do not reach toward it. Let your cat make the choice to approach and make contact first. If your cat pushes its head against your hand, that is your invitation. That is your cat saying, yes, touch me here. If your cat doesn't come, pull your hand back. Try again another time. No pressure, no disappointment, no forcing. Because the moment you force contact, the moment you override your cat's choice, you are sending a message that undoes all the trust you've been building. You are saying, your signals don't matter. My need to touch you is more important than your comfort. But when you wait, when you let your cat lead, you are sending the most powerful message possible. I see your boundaries. I respect them. You are in control here. You are safe with me. And that message, that consistent, patient, respectful message, is what transforms a distant, guarded cat into one that seeks you out, curls up on your lap, and looks at you with eyes full of something that can only be called love. Third element, intentional presence. This third element is the one that sounds the simplest, and it is the one that is most consistently missing from the lives of cats all over the world. Intentional presence. Let me be very precise about what this means and what it doesn't mean. It does not mean sitting in the same room as your cat while you're on your phone. It does not mean having the TV on in the background while your cat wanders nearby. It does not mean multitasking while your cat is vaguely in the vicinity. Intentional presence means you are there, fully, physically, mentally, and emotionally present. No device in your hands. No screen pulling your attention. No task running in the background of your mind. Just you, in your cat's space, with all of you directed toward that moment. In the wild, cats who deeply trust each other engage in a behavior researchers call affiliative resting. They simply sit near each other, not grooming, not playing, not actively doing anything, just existing in peaceful proximity as a mutual signal of deep trust and safety. This is not laziness. This is not nothing. This is one of the most meaningful things one cat can communicate to another. When you offer your cat this kind of presence, when you sit down on the floor near where your cat rests, put your phone away, relax your body, and simply be there without agenda, your cat's nervous system recognizes it. It registers you as available, not just physically available, emotionally available, present in the way that its mother was present, in the way that feels safe at the most primal level. And in response, slowly, gradually, your cat will begin to let its guard down, in ways you may have never seen before. It will move closer than it usually does. It will choose to rest near you rather than in another room. It will make more eye contact. It will show you the relaxed, open, curious version of itself that usually only comes out when the cat thinks it's completely alone. That version of your cat, that fully relaxed, fully trusting version, most owners have never seen it. Because most owners have never given their cat 10 truly undistracted, fully present, completely unhurried minutes. Just 10 minutes. Once a day, no phone, no agenda, just you and your cat, sharing space the way cats understand sharing space. This single practice, done consistently, will do more for your relationship with your cat than any toy, any treat, or any amount of money you could spend on cat products. The science of what happens inside your cat. Let's talk about what is actually happening inside your cat's body and brain when you do these things. Because understanding the science makes everything feel more real and more urgent. When your cat receives meaningful bonding, slow blink, targeted touch, intentional presence, a cascade of neurochemical events takes place. Oxytocin floods the brain. This is the same bonding hormone that is released between a human mother and her newborn during skin-to-skin contact. It creates feelings of safety, warmth, attachment, and love. It is not a metaphor. It is measurable in the bloodstream. Serotonin levels rise. When your cat purrs in a bonding moment, it is not just an external signal of happiness. It corresponds to actual elevated serotonin. Your cat is physiologically better, not just in the moment, but in how its emotional baseline gets set over time. Cortisol drops. Cortisol is the stress hormone. Studies consistently show that cats who receive regular, meaningful emotional bonding have significantly lower baseline cortisol than cats in technically healthy environments that lack this connection. Lower cortisol means a calmer nervous system, stronger immune function, and a longer, healthier life. And here is what long-term research shows about cats who have this kind of bonding versus cats who don't. Cats who receive regular, intentional bonding live longer. In multiple studies, they show stronger immune response, lower rates of stress-related illness, and maintain cognitive function and playfulness well into old age. Cats who are physically cared for but emotionally disconnected, even in loving homes, even with excellent food and regular vet care, carry a chronic low-grade stress that shortens their lives and diminishes their quality of experience every single day. This is not a soft, sentimental claim. This is measurable. This is documented. This is real. The signals you've been missing. I want to walk you through something now. A list of behaviors that many cat owners see regularly and interpret as personality quirks, or just how my cat is, that are actually distress signals. Signals from a cat whose emotional needs are not being met. Overgrooming. When a cat licks the same spot over and over, sometimes until the fur is gone. That is a compulsive, anxiety-driven behavior. It is self-soothing, and in the vast majority of cases, it is rooted not in physical discomfort, but in emotional dysregulation. Excessive hiding. A cat that spends most of its time under the bed, behind furniture, in closed corners of the home. That is not just an introvert cat. That is a withdrawn cat. A cat that does not feel fully safe. And cats do not feel unsafe because of physical threats in a well-kept home. They feel unsafe because the emotional bond they need is missing. Litter box avoidance. Veterinarians consistently rank stress and emotional disconnection among the top non-medical causes of litter box issues. Cats under chronic emotional stress express it through the behaviors most tied to vulnerability, and elimination is deeply tied to vulnerability in cats. Night vocalizations. That haunting meowing at 3 a.m., that is not random. That is a cat reaching out in the dark for a connection it hasn't been getting during the day. It is looking for its mother figure. It is asking, "Are you there? Does anyone hear me?" Sudden aggression. A cat that bites or scratches without what seems like clear provocation. That is a cat that is overstimulated or anxious. And chronic anxiety, in cats, almost always has emotional disconnection at its root. None of this is meant to make you feel guilty. Most cat owners who live with these behaviors have never been told what they mean. They've been told their cat is difficult, or antisocial, or just has attitude. But now you know different. And knowing different means you can do different. The 7-day practice. Here is your complete, step-by-step practice. 7 days. Simple. Specific. Life-changing if you do it with real intention. Days 1 and 2. Observe without intervening. Go to wherever your cat naturally spends time. Sit down nearby. On the floor is best. Do not call your cat. Do not reach out. Do not make intense eye contact. Simply be present and observe. Notice where your cat prefers to rest. Notice what times of day it seems most relaxed. Notice how it moves, how it holds its body when it looks toward you.